So he's going to do an elbow escape, catch my leg. First thing I'm going to do is throw my elbow to the far neck, as the title suggests. And then I'm going to turn and kind of look at what's going on. What does this hand do? Nothing yet. So I'm on this elbow. This hand just sort of floats, helps my body turn. My knee is against his hip. And I look down here at the feet. The other piece is so that he doesn't double hook my feet. I go heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. I'd love if my shin was vertical. So I actually want to get my foot as close to his butt as possible. So one more time, just to show how smooth I'd like it to be by your 10th rep. He elbow escapes, and I'm there. Right? One thing that helps me be smooth is I put my chest down first, actually. So when he elbow escapes, I put my chest down and I sort of float over to here. Okay, so why don't you guys do, this is good because some of you are practicing elbow escape for the first time too, or for some of the first times. So do 10 on one side, and then 10 on the other side. And I'm gonna have to float. And now you guys can see what's happening on the other side. I have my knee against. I don't need my leg straight because I have 0 base now. I want this little stem for base, so I'm here. My elbows at the far neck. So do 10 on one side, 10 on the other side, and then switch who's on top, who's on bottom. Just get some practice getting into the elbow at far neck position. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Maybe I was in side mount. If I was in side mount, and then, I don't know if you guys know this yet, but if you don't, you should know it. And I switch my feet so that I'm facing his feet, and I go to step over. Too good. Right? But he could catch my leg when I go to step over. I think this is what happened to you, and this is what I was saying about don't get greedy. Like sometimes we switch, and we're like, oh, and then we throw it in because we're like, I just want mount. Okay, so that'll happen, that they catch you. So let's do that. Elbows here. I scissor my feet. Also, as basically, they're as far apart as they were now for good balance. They're just that same far apart. So I don't have 2 feet down here. He'd just roll me off. So I'm here. I go to throw it over, and he catches my leg. Boom. And that puts us in our scenario here where I have elbow at far neck, which I like. So I'm going to just make sure that my knee is, you can have my leg. I'm just going to make sure that my knee is against his hip, and then I heel toe this sucker down here up. Notice that the bottom guy has a grip on my leg above the knee. If it's below the knee, it's not a very good way to hold my leg. And I mean, I can just put my knee down and I'm most of the way to mount. Yeah. You're gonna see something like that when we do, but he's gotta make me earn that. I gotta earn that. So he's gonna hold above the knee. Yeah. But this is a real nightmare. You don't wanna have to deal with that. It's like really hard to get my foot out of there. So instead, I hide it close to his butt, too close to him to hook again. And this is the position I want you guys to get into. So I walk my foot up. I don't want to put my foot over here necessarily. Like I do want to keep it like in this lane, in the lane of his spine. But here I am, elbow to neck, knee to hip, and then my foot is good. Okay, now, you may have noticed as the bottom guy that as soon as my shin gets more vertical, not vertical, but as soon as it gets more vertical, like this, as opposed to this, then it becomes harder for him to hold on to this. A little bit, but not impossible. And then some of you already can probably tell that like clearing my knee might be my next goal. So I'm doing something like this. And it is, but I'm going to give you the, Elio Gracie, not strength, it'll never be a strength kind of move. So shoving his leg could be a strength move, right? Like don't let me push that off. Resist. Yeah. By squeezing, he can slow me down. By like adducting, he can slow me down. So I never want it to be that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use my forearm instead of my hand. I'll show you why. If I put my hand on his knee, reach up behind my back with the right hand into that space. Yeah. So I don't use my hand anyway, because there's like this hanging elbow over here that he can see. One of the big benefits of this position, the reason I like this position, he can't see anything. He feels my weight. He sees nothing. That's a great one for me. So now instead I'm going to use my elbow. You can use your hand if you're careful about your elbow, but I'm just, for our purposes, forearm right here. Keep his leg where it is, and don't shove it. Move yourself. Like when we do the bear hug under the arms and we make a frame, we back ourselves away. It's going to be that kind of thing. I'm going to make a frame, and I'm going to pick my hip up off the ground a little bit and back knee up, right? And then I'll drive my knee right through to here. If he has a little grip on my foot, we can talk about it, that's okay. But it's just quarter guard. I'm most of the way to mount. So we're gonna call this mount. For most people, my foot will slip out at some point and I'll get the mount here next. So it'll be this. Okay, so from half guard, he's caught my leg over the knee. And I walk my foot up to avoid a second hook here. I'm gonna block with my forearm, sort of like the elbow escape I was talking about. Make a little X right here. Block, and I back myself up. I back me up. You can see me hip escape. Kind of actually up and out. One more time. Here, I block. If I push, it could be losing battle. But if I move me, he can't follow. If I go up here, and now my knee sees daylight, I drive. Right to here.